Even in everyone, first set have been early in ages. Always doing so. And believe it or not, I was on the phone to the bank. I was on the phone to the bank, and they were on the phone for nearly 2 hours, saying how much they love the podcast. If you believe that, you'll believe anything. Anyway, I've got Sean with me, got this great fella, and as he says there, like and share, folks. Thank you, Sean. And there he is now, the man, the curler, gold medalist in the Vienna Olympics. Can't get better than that. Curling, the Scottish game, and he's Irish. I think that's what you call it, curling. And there he is. Are you
There you
sure?
go. How are you?
I'm all right.
I had a bit of a curling injury.
Curling.
One of the little ball things went flying and hit my hand, so I can't really curl as well as I used to.
That's it. I've got a walking stick there.
I may need it. I may need it.
You know what? It's my daughter bought me, and she said he had it. So for my birthday, also for my birthday anyway. But it's metal. It's a metal handle, and you know it gets me there.
Yeah.
When you use it, it doesn't happen. It gets the bone, it gets the bone on the hand. It's not half so. And look at this, the others, his big head, look, KP.
All right, KP.
Well, I won't say I said so, but I did say we would win soon. You're right there, KP. You certainly did, mate. But you we were talking about the game, but we weren't really talking about the game, really, were we? And what did you think overall
We
of
got
the
a little
game?
bit. We got a little bit sidetracked, Frank. I think.
Yeah, we did. We certainly did.
Like I said, it wasn't like. I mean, the first couple of minutes we looked like we were going to hammer them, and clearly we didn't. It was convincing in the end, but we could have killed that game off. Some of the play was a little bit sloppy. Some of the passing was sloppy. Good goal for McAllister. Good passing. Good assist by Mo. Gravenberch, another great game. Great to see that he's player of September. That was given to him. That'll do his confidence a world of good. And the other thing is that good to see Mo scoring as well. So
what a goal!
What a goal!
And what a goal! And what an assist!
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, what? And people bloody moaned about him. And he wasn't good or anything. God blame these people.
I can't understand that.
I think they're nice, to be honest, Sean. And Red Dew, right? Frankie boy, it's been a while. My heart stopped ticking. But it's all good for now. And Liverpool are doing the biz, so I'm blessed. New name, guess who? Does it go with the Red Dew? And I haven't seen you for a while. No, I wouldn't say it's Dave Weston. No, he's fine, Dave. I don't know, Red Dew, honestly. I suppose when you tell me, I'll go. But I hope you're well, and by the sounds of it, you had a bit of a scare. Let's hope that you stay well, mate. Let's hope. And James, even if Frank, Sean, and chat, sorry to be bad, but a Spanish reporter is saying communications are broken down with Trent and Liverpool. Supposedly, Real Madrid have come in with a bumper package.
I hope not. I hope that's a load of clickbait, but you wouldn't know. You won't know until you see him at a Real Madrid jersey on him, or.
And do you know what though? Sean? The likes of James A, he doesn't come out with any old stuff, you know. He's direct. He wouldn't come out with it if that was phony, if you know what I mean. And I wouldn't be surprised if Real Madrid came in with a mad price, an overinflated price for their Trent. The owners would sell them. I'm telling you now. And I wonder what the lads would think on here. Let me just go through some of them. James again, 50 million signing on fee plus 400k a week after tax. Do you think he'll go, boys? Personally, I can see it happen if it's correct. Okay, we'll get back to that, Sean. Let me just go down here a little bit. Red Juice says, you're on the right line. It is who you think it is. You're on the right line. It is who you think it is. I hope it's not a fella that I've got shut off. Not the fella I was talking to you about today,
yeah.
Sean. This other fucking guy. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, that stupid prick. Anyway, at times our passing and movement was brilliant, says the KP. Yeah. And IBR, evening, Frank and Sean.
Evening.
Martin Mason. Aye, boy. Aye, boy.
There's my brother from another
you
mother.
Mate. Aye.
Aye.
Welcome, Martin Mace. Welcome to the pod. If you stay with us, it's going to be good. And IBR says, I think Trent is leaving and wants a new challenge. Frankenstein in January for nothing, says IBR. And my mate Steve Evans. Well, they're all mates. Hello, Frank and Sean and all.
All right.
So listen, what do you think of that? Really? What do you think of that? And even your mate says Trent going. And the red. Frankie boy, I hear you've been worried about me. Thanks for caring. P.S. A clue is in. Oh, yeah. I have been worried about you. I have. Redbird.
Redbird.
We've been, honestly, everyone. Even Anfield Raw's absolutely palatic drunk. Instead of giving all the drinks to Sean and I, he's been drinking themselves, worrying about you. Brilliant. Made up that you're back. Made up that you are back. Honestly, Redbird. And even if Frank and Sean and chat, hope you're all good, says Ian Mack. Yes. Trent bromance with Bellingham. Yes. Bro romance. That's a cracker little analogy, that. Bro romance. I love that. Madrid can go and do one. Still a fascist Blair to the close. Tough run of games after Palace, yes. And the IB says Edwards, and yeah, of course. And losing Van Dijk is the biggest losses there. There's 0 centre backs available on this level. What do you think about that then?
About Trent? We've only got ourselves to blame, Frank. Leaving, 3 of our most important players, their contract to go down to the very last 12 months is ridiculous. It doesn't matter what your sporting director is, who they are, it doesn't matter at all. They should have got it done. Mike Gordon should have stepped in, should have said, right, you are important for the future of this club. We want to sign you on a contract. This is what we're offering. They should have got this done and dusted. There's absolutely no excuse whatsoever. And I'm absolutely disgusted that a player that's young has so much potential ahead of him, has done so much for the club as well, that we're prepared to lose him possibly on the free at the start of next season. It's crazy. And no one can come on here and tell me that FSG are good business people when they allow that to happen. They don't care about the club. They're good at making a profit. But as in terms of the players and the day-to-day going on the pitch and off the pitch, they don't give a continental damn.
Well, do you know what it's parallel to? I go back to 2005, when just after we won the European Cup.
Yeah.
And Steven Gerrard said, no one's approached me.
Yeah.
And, FSG were wearing in the pitch, Ericsson Gillette wearing in the pitch, or anything.
Yeah.
And he was saying Rick Parry should have been approaching him.
Yeah.
And the open's on holiday, and he said, I'm left in the dark. And then Chelsea came in for him. And everybody thought that, he was going to sign for Chelsea. And you're actually seeing outside the Kop this lad burning his shirt. And I was coming home. I'd just given a lecture. And I was coming home. And it was late afternoon. And I had the radio on in my car. And it said, Stephen's gone. I couldn't believe it. Steven Gerrard. And I used to have on the back window of my car, Gerrard, the 8th wonder of the world, or Stevie G, the 8th wonder of the world. And I got in the back of my car before I went in the house, and I took it off. I was so disappointed. I wasn't like angry at Stephen.
No.
Because remember what he said, why haven't they approached me? And this is parallel. To me, this is parallel, Sean.
Absolutely. And I mean, when he eventually did leave, he wasn't really being prioritized for a contract there either. So, I mean, it's a bit of a common trend that we're seeing. And to lose a player as young as Trent, lose Virgil, and to lose possibly Mo, all in the same year is crazy. It's just like the mind boggles.
It does. It's only what you said before about this should have been done a long time ago. And you brought FSG into the equation with your comments as well.
Well, they have to be in the equation, Frank, because let's put it this way. Let's just say these players want to leave, right? Well, then why wouldn't they get rid of them this summer, where they'd actually get money for them, right?
Yeah.
Or why, just say, listen, sign up to a year contract with us so that we can get some money at the end of next year, or something like that. And they didn't bother. They didn't do that.
No. It's bewildering, isn't it? We can't think logically about a young Liverpool lad. See, I said, this ages ago, Sean.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about at the beginning of the season, or just after, the Klopp had left, the big fanfare for him. And I'll never forget the face on Trent. He was filled up.
Yeah.
He was seeing his mentor leaving the club.
Yeah.
That's what, and I said I wouldn't be surprised if Trent left. Now, what did he say only this week or last week? And he said, I've got all my thanks for what I am today goes to Jurgen Klopp. I'm paraphrasing what he said, but that's it's in the context of what I've just said. And he still hasn't got over. Their Klopp.
No.
And there's talk about Klopp as well. Strong rumours that he will be going back into football. as a manager. And I said, going back then. And I knew that Carlo Ancelotti was actually leaving this season, Real Madrid, which was his last season. And who better to take over?
Well,
and if he does go back there, it's goodbye, Trent. I'm telling everybody now. It's goodbye, Trent. But the Red Juice says, yeah, it is, mate. And that's the former Red Bird. Yeah, it is me. I'm back. And I ain't going anywhere until Liverpool win 5 CL finals on the trot. But let's hope that they win one this season, Red Jim. Anyway, Edwards, I don't know why it's been left this late and we're kept in the dark about contracts. Yes. And Richard says, what do you think about Darwin Núñez? We'll go on about that later on. Steve Evans, Steve just comes out, he's hard hitting. He's hard hitting. There's no subtleness or anything. And I like that. And he says, Edwards and his cronies are not asked about new contracts, and I hope the club jog that LeBron James on now. There's links to the Beast P. Diddy. But I'm being honest with you, Steve. You know my take on him, LeBron James. I'm not interested.
No.
But they have a massive picture with a basketball T-shirt on, but you never walk alone. And standing there with a baseball like that, massive picture on the cop. And he gets £31 million a year for doing that. He can jog on him.
Yeah. I said that, Frank, on Cop Talk a while back. LeBron James putting his brand on Liverpool jerseys and his clown feet logo and what have you. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want to cheapen, Liverpool Football Club with his brand. I don't want him anywhere near it. And especially if the rumors are true that he is connected with P. Diddy, then he can go and literally jog on and not mention Liverpool Football Club, or you'll never walk alone in his mouth again.
Do you know what? I know, and it's hard to define these things, about P. Diddy. And they've got all these stars up there, but they're all coming out and going, oh yeah, I went to a party because they knew that they were there, they were photographed.
Yeah.
But they knew nothing that was going on. They went there because of that freak show or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
They went there because of that and took part in it. Do them people think that we're stupid by saying, oh, I wasn't there. I was there, but I never took part in anything. I didn't know what was going on, or I seen what was going on and I left immediately.
I'll tell you, you wouldn't know who to have who to have your musical interests with or whatever. I mean, I actually went to a P. Diddy concert when it was in Dublin. Little did I know that a couple of years later, or 20 odd years later or more, he would be like the biggest pedophile or alleged pedophile in the music industry. It's absolutely disgusting, and I'm absolutely disgusted with having gone to the gig. Obviously, I wouldn't have gone to it if I had known, but my God, I feel physically sick even thinking about it. Really, it's absolutely disgraceful. And what they must have done to the likes of Justin Bieber, who I wouldn't have been a massive fan of, but it doesn't bear thinking. It doesn't bear thinking. But I want LeBron James as far away from Liverpool Football Club. I don't want any part of
because
that.
He's being mentioned. He's being mentioned. Do you know what it's like? I believe it actually. There must be something going on between them. It's like you or me being mentioned. Now people will go like that. Hang on, for him to mention Frank Carlyle or Sean, something must be going on with them too. You know, they must have been to. It's like that. So if LeBron James has been mentioned, he's definitely been there. He's definitely his mate, if you
Yeah,
know
well,
what I mean.
he went on about there's no party like a P Diddy party, so he's been there. He's done that. He's worn the
Of course he
T-shirt.
does.
There was like photos of him in a maid's outfit. So I don't know what the hell he was getting up to, but I mean, if he's up to the sort of stuff that has been alleged, and we have to say alleged just so that we cover ourselves,
Yeah,
I think he needs to sell off what he has, or be forced. I mean, if Abramovich had to sell off Chelsea because of his links with Putin, then
that was shocking. That was shocking. That because what's wrong? What's wrong with being a close association with the president of your own country?
yeah,
What's wrong with that? It's like Abramovich must have just like stopped everything. You're in England now.
mm,
Stop everything with Russia, and that's wrong. That it's like me.
mm,
I'm in a documentary called Scouse Not English, and it's like someone saying, I've been called, Scouse Not English, I'm English, all this, I mean, I don't give a fuck, to be honest, what they say. And anyway, I was in this thing, and I was trying to explain about the establishment. Now, if I went away to live, say, like in another country, sure,
mm,
I would never forget. Not worried about fucking England, by the way.
mm.
I'd never forget my roots of Liverpool.
Yeah, of course.
Never forget my roots of Liverpool, because even when I go away on holiday and come back, I'm just made up to get home and sit on my own chair and make myself a cup of tea. That's it. I'm home. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
So my roots are very important to me. But anyway,
absolutely.
could go into. But anyway, Richard says, why isn't LFC not renewing contracts? We'll go into that. And he carries on by saying FSG, blood-sucking owners of vampires. That's what he calls them. And losing Salah, Van Dijk and Trent on free transfers in the same window is not just poor business. It's a disaster.
It absolutely is.
So, go on, carry on.
Pardon the dogs in the background. I'll soon be getting rid of them. Not physically shooting them around.
You're LeBron James.
I'm not doing a LeBron James, but yeah, I mean, it absolutely would be a disaster if we lost all three of them. Absolutely. I mean, these guys can still demand a good bit of money, and the fact that they're going on the free is ridiculous. If we don't sort out the contracts.
Well, I said that at the beginning of the season. I said exactly, when the contracts renewal were up.
Hold on a second, Frank. I'm going to...
No, go ahead. I'll just carry on. I'll just carry on reading these, and I'll tell you what I mean. So you're right, the IBR. You're spot on, mate. Billy Joel concert at Anfield, says Steve Evans. £300 a ticket. The greed is staring everyone in the face again, yet people still defend them. That's a great show. I'm actually, I don't know whether it's there, Steve. Honestly, I don't. But I'm going with Francine. I said to her a couple of years, about 3 or 4 years ago, I said, you know what? I said, I'd love to see the boss, Bruce Springsteen. And she said to me last week, Dad, do you want a ticket? Shall we get a couple of tickets and come with me to see Bruce Springsteen? I said, yeah. And I'm sure it's at Anfield. I'm sure. I've been to see Paul McCartney there years ago. Went to see him there. Anyway, James A. Frank, all I can say, it's come from an under-21 player for us about Trent and him and our close friends. Him and Trent are close friends. He's leaving us. Liverpool offered him a 6-year deal. Yeah, it is. You know what I said about James saying, like, he just doesn't come out with stuff, like rumours or anything. And he says, Frank, all I can say, it's coming from an under-21 player for us about Trent, and him and Trent are close friends. He's
Right.
leaving us. Liverpool offers him a 6-year deal, future captain, but talks are broken down badly.
I wonder how. I wonder what. I mean, a 6-year deal where he's the future captain. It's very interesting.
It doesn't shock me actually.
But I'd love to know. I'd love to know how it's broken down. Is it down to the money? Is it down to the conditions? What is it?
I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it is. And it's so easy to pinpoint, to connect the dots. And what it is, it's Jürgen leaving.
Yeah.
Jürgen, it was preempt that Jürgen had to leave. It was preempt because I'm just saying this now, not allegedly or anything, because you had 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago, that fella leaving, right? He left. Then Simon, Edwards, Martin Edwards, he left. He said, "Oh, I'm leaving," and he left Jürgen in the lurch. Then 6 months later, when Ward took over right after him, 6 months later, Ward said, "I'm leaving too. I'm going to that." No one gave any fucking explanations why they left. Why they left.
Nobody did. Yeah.
And I said at the time, well, fuck them, don't let them allow back into Anfield. They've left us.
So but why didn't the journalists ask about that?
They're all fucking, they're all the fucking same.
Exactly.
He asks stupid questions. Always is Veg fit for Saturday, and all this fucking crap. Yeah. That's all he asked. That's all he fucking asked, and no one asked anything. You know what I mean? And that Jürgen Klopp's hands were always tied with these owners. You know that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Anyway, then all of a sudden, they're fucking back. Phone call. I'm coming back, Edwards.
And I mean, we're meant to be delighted that they're back. I mean, I think if you turn your back to Liverpool Football Club in the way that they did, I mean, Edwards left. He said he needed a break from it. Julian Ward comes in and he takes over, and then all of a sudden leaves. Then you have this Georgie Smacked, whatever the hell his name is, and they put him on a 3-month contract and then extend his 3-month contract. And throughout all this time, you have players that are going to the end of their contract, and not one of them thought it would be a good idea to look at the contracts. Klopp said that he would never, ever, ever be part of a football club that had a behind-the-scenes documentary. And what did they do? They get a behind-the-scenes documentary. And then all of a sudden, he doesn't have the energy for the place anymore, and he leaves. There's rumors that he had a really, really bad argument over the phone in front of everybody, slammed the phone down.
Broke the phone.
And he went and he had to apologize to everybody in the canteen. And I firmly believe that's FSG. He may have had a conversation with Gordon, and they said no to something or whatever. But to me, the journalists, the clique, as I call them, they don't ask the hard-hitting questions that need to be answered. And to have the likes of Edwards come back, and then have Edwards' buddy come back, or bring his buddy in, and then to have a write-up or Ornstein doing the circuit and saying how wonderful he is. How wonderful is someone that gets rid of all of Klopp's kids and brings in two players, one of which is injury prone and the other that we won't see till next year. That to me is not good business.
Of course it isn't. Of course it isn't. And this is the reason why Jurgen left. I'm telling you now, because of Edwards. It wasn't because of like he looks tired and everything else. It wasn't fucking that. It wasn't that at all. And Edwards and Ward coming back. That was preempt because Jurgen Klopp had, as people thought, and I think it was FSG, thought that we've got to get shut of this fella because he's got too much power over the fans. The fans loved him. The fans adored him. The greatest man. And everybody, you've said it, I've said it, loads of, they've all said it on here. If he was being given the proper funding, Liverpool could have gone on and won more than they did under Klopp.
And I mean, all that was really needed was maybe a few million here and a few million there, not spending the ludicrous amount of money that Man City spent or the likes of Chelsea spent. Just to, if I can comment on Red Jew saying Rush left, should we have not allowed him come back? Just saying it's a bit different with players coming back and whatnot, and same with Aldridge and same with Fowler. So that's a bit different with these guys. These guys are business people. These guys have their pie charts and spreadsheets. They know more about, they know about stats and stuff like that and the business end of things. These are players that have played out their socks for Liverpool Football Club. So again, we need to differentiate between the business side of it and then the players.
Well, okay, I'll go through a few things and I'll go down to what you said there, because this is a very important topic, to be honest. And Richard says, FSG, no ambition and greedy for money. James, I'm close friends with the under-21 players' dad, that boys. IBR, FSG don't want to pay the wages as it will reduce their profit margins. James again, we've always been a piggy bank for FSG. Facts. Going down, I just want to get to that, what you said. It says players running contracts and going for free. Running down contracts, that is. In case you're wondering, Frank, my new name is in part of the name of an angel. You said, that's lovely, Jew. So it must be Julie. I fucking love that, I love things like that. And the Red, honestly, Red Jew, I'll just call you Red from now on. And that's lovely to put Red Jew. I'm really made up. And we were worried about you. Honestly, I said on the pod, has anybody seen Redbeard? And they were all going, no. And I even asked Stanfield Road, he said, I've been trying to get in touch with him. So everybody is being worried about you, Redbeard. Honestly, believe that, fella. Honestly. And I made up that lovely Julie saved your life. Made up. Can't do without you, Redbeard, Red Jew. Can't do without you, mate. So made up, fella. Really. James A. Becca will be next to go, but VVD will stay and considering Saudi into, Yeah. I said last year Trent wants to join us, mate, Jude. That's one of the things why he's leaving, because Klopp has left. Now, you know that the family of Bellingham were here, and Klopp was talking to them. He'd be great here. Bellingham wanted to join us. Then the fucking spin starts that his head was turned by Real Madrid. He wanted to join us. And Trent was made up. That's his mate. And then he left to go to Real Madrid. His head was turned. Loads of bollocks like that Shumani lad. Loads of bollocks. He didn't want to fucking pay out. Because I even said, fancy them paying out at between 80 and 100 million for a player. Then, do you think they will? I don't think so, and I was proved right.
But isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing, Frank, how every single journalist, right, in the click covered this and said, Liverpool are saving up for Bellingham, this is going to happen. Liverpool are saving up for Bellingham, this is going to happen. They spent 2 years doing that. And then when it came to getting Bellingham, it fell flat on its face. And then it was like, oh, well, his head was turned. He wanted to play for Real Madrid. He always wanted to play for Real Madrid. They put that spin on it. The same way is that, the club was, according to Ornstein, was up for sale. And then we were led to believe that no one wanted to buy Liverpool Football Club. Nobody. Which made out that we're so absolutely so lucky to have FSG that no one would want to buy Liverpool Football Club. And instead, what did they do? They made this false narrative that Dynasty Equity, who the CEO is also the CEO of Fenway Sports Group, that they bought a minority share in Liverpool Football Club, but they actually didn't. They bought it in FSG.
Yeah. But, honestly, I wish you'd have known me. I wish you'd have known me on the day in the November that it came out FSG is selling Liverpool Football Club. Do you know what I said that night on my AirPod? Here's what I said. Exactly. Here's what I said exactly.
Yeah.
I said, if you believe that, because we were screaming out for players like we are now. We were screaming out for players. And I said, January's coming up. And I guarantee you that's just so that they won't buy in the January. And in the February, they'll come out and say, oh, we're not selling now. And why was I vindicated? And I said that on my pod.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember that well, because the amount of people that I hadn't spoken to for years who got onto me and said, you should start up Fenway, we come out to pay again. I was like, no, I've done my stint. You can do yours if you want, but that's me done. And I didn't believe that they were going to sell Liverpool Football Club. But it's funny, that came out in November, and in March, we went through that whole period where there was uncertainty, and it was an indirect comment that John W. Henry made in Boston, where he says the club is not for sale. He didn't have the common courtesy or the manners after all of what he said at the apology over the Super League, that he would confide in the players or in the team or in the club and the fans. He didn't do that. He left us from November to March, which is an absolute disgrace.
Of course it is. And, as I said, I was vindicated there, what I said. They've got no intention of selling. The only way, and it's happening now as well. It's happening now with officials of FSG in Saudi Arabia. It's happening now. But you're going to get people saying, we don't want state oil. And, and I ask why. And they say, because look what they do to the fucking women, and all this. And I go, and I say, well, look what America does to the world.
Have a look at AXA. Have a look at
wars everywhere, and selling big bombs and rockets and guided missiles and everyone to their, who they think is their friends to bomb other people.
Yeah, you can't cherry pick where you want to have, where you want to have your morals and principles. You either go full out or not at all, and you can't all of a sudden, turn against these state-owned ownership and say, oh well, look at the human rights issues. Like as if they give a continental damn. I mean, Paul Machin mentioned that to Curtis Ball. He asked what religion he was. That's none of his goddamn business.
Nope.
That should not have any say or part in the ownership of the club. None whatsoever.
None whatsoever. I always remember though, everybody was doing backward flips, cartwheels, singing in the street, you know, getting drunk and going like that when Sheikh Maktoum and DIC were buying us. Then all of a sudden they just change, you know, now and go, oh, we don't want any state oil. Oh, fuck off.
Well, it's like that Paddy Power ad where they're talking about don't want any state ownership or whatever. Yeah. And then all of a sudden the club find out that they're owned by, state ownership or whatever. And they're now parading and delighted and they're going to be rich and they're going to bring in loads of top players.
Yeah. Yep. It's hypocritical.
Absolutely, yeah.
Everything is hypocritical. And football is terrible for the hypocrites. I can't stand LeBron. He's so fake, just like our owner says, Red Jim.
Yeah.
100% in agreement.
Absolutely.
And even if Frank and Sean OTW, IHA, and Richard says, LeBron James can't jog on. Pal, can't jog. You mean can jog on?
Can jog on.
It's what you call predictive text. I sent someone, I hope our Francine's not listening in. I sent someone a text, you know, and it was about, what was it, still or something like that. Like, just show me the still or whatever like that. And it came out as show me your tits. And you know, I had to apologize. It was shocking. It was shocking because someone put up, you know, a friend of mine on that bloody Facebook thing and said about a still, look at this, Frank. And I went, is that a still? Show me that still again. And it ended up saying, show me your tits again. You know, I went like, I said, listen, that was predictive text. She said, yeah, I know what you meant. Dirty. I said, no, honestly. They were laughing about it, obviously. IVR, it's bad enough having Nike being a BlackRock stroke Vanguard company. BlackRock, neocons, WEF. I wanted to do a pod tomorrow night, you know, about current issues, you know, around the world, current affairs around the world and what's going on. And no one will come on with me.
I'd love to, but I'll be on a plane.
Oh, you're coming over there, aren't you?
I'm going over there, yeah.
Coming over. Are you coming to Liverpool, like?
I'm going to be in Warrington Friday night, and then going to London Saturday, and then I'm spending literally the night in Liverpool Saturday night, and then flying back home on Sunday. So I've
Sunday what? What time?
Hold on a second.
If it's an afternoon, you can come and see me. If you're staying in Liverpool overnight, because I live near town, you know. I live near the city.
Well, let's have a look. I'm trying to check my the flight time. I think it's late Sunday night.
Oh, brilliant! Well, come and see me.
Yeah.
I'll send you my email. I'll send you my phone number.
Yeah. All right.
You know, my address and everything. I'll email you tonight.
Great stuff, yeah. Brilliant.
Great. It's a disgrace what's going on with LeBron and the other leeches, guys. Says James. Of course it is. And James says, Stella, absolute facts. And that's right. And that is our use. There's nothing us fans can do to get rid of these owners.
I'm not too sure about that, Yusuf. I think we need to kind of work on ourselves first. I think that there's plenty of the clique that try and swerve that conversation, and people kind of get caught up on good deals and or good results and tend not to look at the overall picture. I think as long as FSG are at the club, we will just carry on as we're going, and it would really take some massive performances from Slot and the players to really do something. And if we lose the 3 players that we could be leaving, we're in for a shock.
But you'll get some little groups, I'm not mentioning a name, and people think that they're fucking great, and they're not. They're actually a bunch of fucking wankers to me. And, they won't do anything.
They won't. They won't. And I mean,
you know who I mean, don't you? You know who I mean.
I know exactly who you mean. And I mean, they will talk a load of waffle, and then they will attack, people on this and on other places. And, like I as I said to you there yesterday or last night, I talk to supporters direct who deal with possible fan ownership. There's that chance that boat has sailed. That boat sailed with Gillette and Hicks. That's
years ago.
It's not going to happen, especially with the amount of money that's involved now. We can talk about the German model all we like. The German model. That's why the German league is not as.
And even the Barca as well. They're owned.
Yeah, but again, there's huge question marks over them too. But it's not. The old saying, "Be careful what you wish for." I don't think a fan ownership now it's not going to happen, and certainly not someone that is trying to spearhead it along with other stuff going on in their life and just yourself. I'm not going to go into it, Frank, out of respect to you.
Well, anyway, Reggie. Hollywood is full of these awful kiddie fiddlers. Makes me sick. James A. With these puffy parties. With these When I first heard that fella's name, a few years ago.
Yeah.
Puff fucking Diddy. What kind of a name's that?
It was Puff Daddy, then P Diddy.
Oh, right, okay. Well, whatever the fucking name. Anyway, stupid. Deserves just for the fucking name. Anyway, with these puffy parties, if you weren't part of the satanic crew, you were left early. You left early. So say these other actors, sports stars. DiCaprio was always at these parties. Well, Francis says he doesn't like anyone over the age of 25.
Yeah.
She said
Ricky
that.
Gervais certainly took the Michael out of him.
Who?
Ricky Gervais when he was.
Ricky, brilliant Ricky.
Yeah, very good.
Stands no messing.
No,
just like these fucking lads on here. They say it as it is.
Yeah.
I want to get to a thing what Red you say. James A says that's fact, Frank. You can't take the boy out of Liverpool, but never ever take Liverpool out of the boy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Spot on. And that goes forever. And the Reds says, I'm not saying Putin is an upstanding guy, but he does put his people first, unlike our corrupt government. I don't think Putin is the monster the Western media say it. Of course he isn't. I stream Russia. I stream them just to see what it is like. I know. I've given a lecture many times about the Russian Revolution. Two they had, and one was in 1905, 4, 5, and and Lenin was actually exiled to Finland. He was exiled, and he was in Finland. He said, "Oh fuck this!" He said, "I'm going back." Solzhenitsyn, do you ever remember the writer? He was exiled to, or he went to live in Switzerland, and he went, "This is not for me." And that's like recent, that's an
Yeah,
all like
yeah.
time. And he said, "This is not for me." And he went back to Russia. This is the kind. It's always been the hate of Russia. Not only that, but the likes of this book, The Crucible, the Melting Pot, that was written by Arthur Miller, and it was about McCarthyism during the 1950s because, Russia's always been hated by the West, especially us and especially America. And this is what's going on today. This is what's going on today. But you're so right there, Red Jew. You're so right. Honest to God, you're so right, mate. And he carries on. If people keeps paying the prices, the greedy leeches want, they are fools, in my opinion. Of course they are. And maybe it's partly down to Trent wanting to join Jude, in my opinion. And of course, it would be hard for him to turn down the mega bucks Madrid will offer him. Yes.
That wouldn't have been a problem if we got Jude when we said we were going to get Jude.
Oh, I'd be happy as Larry. He'd have been great for us. Yeah, and that's why Jürgen was mad. He said, "No, we're not paying." Hence, then that was the start of him going, "Get fucking shut of this fella." Okay, what shall we do? How can we do it? Edward, Martin, just leave him. You'll be back within 2 years. Okay. Rush left, so we have not allowed him to come back. Just say, no, he left on. And this is what I wanted to get to, Red. And I think you'll understand, mate. Honestly, he left. He was sold to Juve under special circumstances to heal the big rift. I was at ISIL, as well. I was there, and it was to heal a rift between Juve and all the Italian nation, and he was our greatest goal scorer, greatest. And so it was to heal the rift. And if you think about it, they just said, okay, for a year, heal the rift for a year. Then he was back the following year. So, that's entirely different circumstances, honestly. But I'm glad you brought it up so we could put that to bed. And Sean says, only 2 likes. Come on, folks. Thank you, Sean. And Reggie, Jürgen wanted to leave before he resigns. I think FSG said that they will back him by getting the players he wants in, but as normal, they didn't. So can't blame Jürgen for leaving, of course. They never fulfill promises ever. And James A, it's down to no investment in future. Also, the players he's had around him under Klopp coming to more or less a career ending while he's still in the prime. That's why he's going. And that's where Bellingham's dad are very close off the field. I've been since Bellingham was at Birmingham, Frank. And there you have it, all in a nutshell. What was you going to say? Sure.
No, I think these players have short careers. They haven't time to wait around for FSG to decide well, maybe it's time to take our hands out of our pocket and invest in the team. They want success now, and that seems to be the taboo word at Liverpool. Certainly within that clique, that like if you want success, if you want us competing, to want our team to compete, we'll be classed as glory hunters, classed as plastic fans, classed as, oh, well, go support Man City and Chelsea. It's almost a wrong thing to have the same enthusiasm, the same ambitions, same views as what the great Bill Shankly had for Liverpool. And as far as I'm concerned, football hasn't changed that much where you wouldn't want your team to compete and win every trophy that's available to them. I'm not saying that that's always going to be possible, but at least give the coach, the head coach, give the players the tools. You know, players are going to be complacent if there's no opposition for their position. If you heard what Steven Gerrard said, you know, he fought long and hard to hold on to his position. And, you know, if he didn't, he'd have a think about it and he'd look at himself and he'd start the next day. And I think, you know, that's the attitude that us fans should have. And these players, they do have. These players don't have a loyalty to a club. Trent, of course, being a Scouser, you know, this is going to be a very difficult situation for him. But at the end of the day, if the club do not offer him a contract and do not offer a reason to stay at the club where he is up for contention of winning trophies, what's the point? You know?
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with James as well, James. I'm being honest. You know, he knows a thing about what's happened. James MK, hey guys, all reason to get those profile singers into Anfield for those concerts was to create more money for whom? For FSG greed. For whom? For FSG greed. Absolutely. And Mark, thank God we unearthed the gem in Conor Bradley, who I see as a future captain of LFC.
That's a big claim.
Well, it is a big claim, but I think he's great, you know.
He's amazing. He's amazing. And so someone asked me, you know, do you think there's an opportunity of Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland as a football team joining forces like they did in the rugby? I'd love to see that happen. I don't think it will. I definitely...
Unless, you know, all islands, which they've been fighting for since the 1500s, you know, become all islands again.
Well, let's see. I think we're in a good.
I think you are as well. Historically, you are. To be honest, now at this moment in time, a united Ireland, and that's what you'll see: a big island team, a big republic. So, you know, we support the Republic, you know, because we're Republicans here in Liverpool.
Amen. Amen.
And the Red Juices, on another chat, a chatter said, I should change my name because red is so last year. Oh, fuck off. I replied, I was born a red, will die a red, and stop disrespecting my name. There are some pluckers out there. Yes, of course, there's loads of them. Fucking loads of them.
Too many of them.
Assholes. And the other issue we have is Robertson is in a decline and needs replacing next summer. And we all need a number 6 and a massive replacement. So we can't possibly replace Trent, Van Dijk and Salah.
We haven't replaced fucking Genie. No, so I mean, talking about it's
you know, can people see this? But they can't see it. You know, we're top of the league. We're top of the league, and this is what people are just looking at. Top of the league. Oh, you know, but wait till the fucking now McAllister's injured. Right, and you know, still don't know how bad it is or whatever. I don't anyway. Someone else on here might too. And that's an injury. Just imagine another injury with one of our main players, with one of them. I'm not saying the forwards because there's lots of options for our forwards, lots of them. But it's the midfield and it's the defence. That's what worries me. That's what you had the other fella out in your Allison injured just a week or two ago, and he's only come back. Good job we got. Just imagine if Kelleher would have said, "No, I want to go in the summer." Just imagine him.
But I still don't know where Mohamedashvili comes into this. I mean, has he been pitched as he's going to be the next Liverpool #1? And if that's the case, is Alisson going to leave as well as Kelleher this summer? And if that's the case, I'm not too sure Mohamedashvili and Jaros is the best option for Liverpool. I don't know too much about this Mohamedashvili fella. And Jaros, I mean, he looks all right in the pre-season, but not enough to get rid of the two best keepers in the league and possibly in the world, certainly with Alisson anyway.
Do you ever remember Salif Dow and right? You remember them two, and Phil Babb as well. Now they were brought in because they had a decent World Cup. To how far they got, you know, they never got to the final or anything, and outshone in the final or even the semi-final, whatever. They just had decent game, and we bought them on the strength of them, and terrible. So I don't go along with, you know, players and whatever having a decent little thing and bringing them in. We did it with Verona, remember? I'm just mentioning his name.
and Milan Jovalic or whatever his name is, Paul Konchesky. Oh my God, makes me.
Fucking! I don't know what Hodgson was thinking, unless someone told him, "Oh, that Konchesky's great. He scored a cracking goal against Liverpool in the final." Remember, you know, oh, fuck off. It was a cross that went in.
Yeah.
The wind blew it in. Anyway, you know, no. And James says, FSG have no intention of selling us. Anyone who believes they are is delusional. They're still pushing for super. Yes, I said.
Absolutely.
I said for last year, within 5 years, that'll be up there, up and running. I'm telling you now. It's already started in this year's form.
Absolutely.
Champions League. Brilliant.
I couldn't agree more with James A there, because if you think that John W. Henry has changed his tune just because the fans kicked up, and it wasn't really a great kick up to be fair, it was a really piss poor protest. But if you think that John W. Henry has changed his tune, he started up a breakaway league from the PGA. That just shows you all you need to know about the man. So don't think for 1 minute that the Super League is finished. It will find some way of creeping in, and he will find some way of being part of it. No two ways about it.
And there's some powerful. Remember Real Madrid?
Yeah.
They were saying, "Yeah, let's have this," and they're powerful persuaders as well.
Yeah.
So yes, I really believe that there will be a Super League, and I said that last year, or when I said within 5 years. And IBR Stella saying to the Red, bleed red for life, absolutely. And Sean's gone to take the dog, to walk the dog.
I wouldn't even mind. My father is after putting them back in, and I can hear them still moaning, and they're in their bed, but they're trying to get in here. So I don't know.
IBR says, get Sean to do a live show on the balcony. You'd be surprised at my balcony, actually. You'd be very surprised. Honestly, I'm feeling roller.
There you are.
LeBron James, right? LeBron look at who was involved with R. Kelly parties, Diddy parties, Weinstein, Epstein. What more can one say? LeBron pushed that take the knee. Yeah, I hate that taking the knee stuff. So do I really do. Um, I
Unless
nearly.
you really do something about getting rid of racism
Yeah, but we
and
do in our own way because that fucking taking the knee goes right back to that
George Floyd.
George Floyd. Now George Floyd was a thug. If that was being an ordinary citizen, yeah, an ordinary black citizen. But he was committing a crime at the time. By the way, he was
Well,
full of drugs.
I don't know whether you heard there was something similar that happened in Dublin. A young lad by the name of George Nichenko. And George Nichenko, he attacked a shopkeeper, had hospitalized a security guard that was in the shop, went and started threatening the Gardaí, the Irish police, got a machete and was waving around the machete. He lunged at about 4 or 5 Gardaí. One of the Gardaí had to shoot and kill him. And the following day, George Nichenko's brother got on one of these dictaphones or microphones or whatever, and asked for the head of the guard that shot his brother. And political parties that wanted to jump on the bandwagon and get the votes and what have you, they jumped on this bandwagon and made it a kind of a Black Lives Matter movement in Ireland. And really all it was, and I've seen this, is that around Dublin, random people, because of their skin colour, were dragged out of their car and beaten up. And there was loitering, and so it wasn't in any name or whatever. Going back to what I'm saying about football, if the FA or Premier League want to be serious about getting rid of that sort of crap in football, clamp down on it from a fan point of view in the stadium.
Yeah, simple.
Clamp down on the sick chants, the tragedy chants. Get clubs calling out the people, like what they did recently with that Richard Crisp fella, who he had a season ticket with Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday have now told him he's not welcome at the club ever. More clubs need to do that.
Yeah, well, I said, about all these chants and everything else. I said, just ban them, ban them, and fill the just fill the Anfield Road bottom tier with all Liverpool fans, and ban them for a season, and let's see if they stop, and if they don't stop, just ban them all together. Just ban them.
I mean, you've heard of the Arsenal fans that got a 3-year ban from football stadiums. I think if you go into a football stadium and you sing about Munich, Heysel, or Hillsborough, you should not be allowed in the stadium ever again.
No, they're banned for life.
Banned for life. That's it.
Banned for life. Simple as that. Simple as that. And I'm fed up with all these bloody chants aimed at us, to be honest. But taking the knee, as we were saying there, that was for a thug. That was for a horrible thug. And he actually broke. He had a crew, and he broke into this house, put a gun to the belly of a pregnant girl, and said, "Where's the money?" And you don't do that. And that was for him. And I went like, "No, that's wrong. That." You know what I mean? As I said, if it would have been an innocent bystander and they'd done it to him, yeah, but not for a thug. And that's just me.
Well, it's like I said, I've just mentioned, shortly after that young lad who caused bodily harm to one person and then tried to kill 4 Gardaí. They had a movement in Dublin, and random people were being dragged out of their car and kicked and beaten, and nothing was said about it because, you know, this was a movement and we were all to get upon it because, you know, that's the culture nowadays. And I was like, not a hope. What, you know, justice for this guy? You know, there was a white Irish lad that held his ex-girlfriend up at gunpoint, and he was shot and killed by the Gardaí, and rightly so. You know?
Yeah, I know. You know, it's hard to put into words and context, to be honest, when violent acts happen. You see what I mean? And they do. And what I can't get over, can I just read this?
Yeah.
That you says, we need the truth stream about current issues because the mainstream has brainwashed the sheeples, yes, who have no idea what the truth is. Well, listen, if you want me to do, I'm saying to all the chat, if you're not going out, that is tomorrow evening, I'll do, you know, these current issues. I'll do it. I'll do it tomorrow night, even if I'm on my own, and you can come in on the chat or whatever. But if anyone wants to join me tomorrow evening, by all means, you can come on, just the way Sean is here now, and the rest of the panels on, you know, just we'll get you on. That's somehow, and we can discuss these. But if you want me to do it tomorrow, I'll do it. I'll do it. And there's our friendly Anfield Row. Hello, Frankie and Sean and chat. Drink these. This Father Christmas Day. He's got to get a Father Christmas. I don't know, it's a red one. I know
there's too much drink there now, Anfield Roar, for me. I might take maybe 3/4 of that when I win that watch for the fantasy football thing.
I haven't seen the watch. You know, there's some of them here. Yeah, let's have a look.
I'm collecting it on Sunday, Anfield Roar.
Oh yeah, you'll be able to see it in person.
I'd be like, oh, look at this.
Look at this. Look at me new watch.
Look at this. It fits perfectly.
And you know what? And when you get home and you come back on the stream next week, you'll be able to say, hey, it's a cracking watch.
It's a cracking
watch. Wait till you see it. And if you go in the game, you know, the next home game, get to see these lads. Please get to see at Scarf or the Badge because they've got some quality stuff. And someone said to me, they must be giving you money or cliche. No, I help I'm not saying I help all small businesses, but I would. I would help them if they just said, listen, can you put this up or could you put that up? These are fantastic couple. As Michelle and Michael, you know, the owners of the thing, absolutely brilliant.
That's what myself and Adam and Martin are doing with our channel, AKM LFC. We have like a paid membership now. The paid membership is $2.99 per month, which I mean is nothing. But what we're looking to do is get people to win spot prizes, and we're looking at speaking to kind of small businesses that can maybe donate while we, you know, sponsor them and give them a shout out and what have you. So that's what we're looking to do.
Look at that.
Fits me perfectly, Frank. Look at that. Fits me perfectly. You see, Anfield Roar, you don't want any of that. It doesn't fit you.
Well, no, I'm telling you now, it's not a battery one either. It's a wind up one, so you don't have to worry about battery life. You don't have to worry about battery. I only like wind. My watch here.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let's take that down a minute. I'll show you my watch. I'll show you what I mean. My watch there. Hang on. Can you see it? That one. Do you know what that is?
That's second prize.
That's a Breitling. That's a Breitling, and it's a wind up. Because I say I don't want these bloody, battery ones. So
Yeah.
wind up. It's. I only get good watches, by the way. That's all. But this one here is a cracker. You'll love this one. What I'll do when you come before you come on Sunday, I'll wind it up and I'll show you the movements and everything else.
And we'll do a video. We'll do a video, Frank, and we'll wind Anfield Roar up.
But it's on your wrist going around like that, perpetual motion going around.
Exactly. And for each time a team gains more points than me, the dog in the background gets it.
That's great. You won't be getting any Guinness off Anfield. And look at that, the red jersey. Anfield Roar, it's me, mate. Have you missed me? I've missed your beers, pal. Ah, that lovely. Did he do it? Did he do it?
That's funny.
That's mad, that. And the Anfield, Red you, that you red bird, where the F have you been, mate? He'll tell you, mate. He'll tell you where he's been. I think. Didn't even know who he was before, to be honest. This year, to be honest, says the Yusuf. That's a cracking name, isn't it, Yusuf? I wonder if it's like Middle Eastern for Joseph. Yusuf. I wonder if he'll tell us.
Isn't that Cat Williams' name now, Yusuf?
Yusuf, yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of his surname, but it's something. Yusuf something.
Yeah, Yusuf. Yeah, it is. Yeah. He was great. Cat Stevens, Matthew and son. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant was him. And James A. This is where I might go back to boxing, Frank. But I'll never get Duran Hagler. Oh, the Duran Hagler hands. Sugar Ray days back. So I'm taking up gardening, but I'll have to wait till next year now. I've always said that the best pound for pound boxer I've ever seen, I don't watch boxing anymore, was Duran. Duran. He was, is it Roberto? Was Roberto, was that his name? Well, anyway, Roberto, was it Duran? Was it Roberto? But Duran was fantastic. Best pound for pound boxer I've ever seen. And, you've got Hagler there, Mark. You've got Thomas the Hitman Haynes, Sugar Ray Leonard, there is fantastic boxers.
Sean the Curler.
What?
Sean the Curler.
Oh, Sean the
Frank was a bit like a satellite delay. He was like, what?
I'll have to find out with that. Yeah, anyway. James MK. It's not Hollywood. Look at the Vatican, the BBC, Savile, Smith, Harris, Glitter, Wall Street, Epstein, Maxwell, Diddy Music. It's a very dark, satanic industry. Watch a movie called The Sound of Freedom. Yeah. Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
And that fella who played Christ, he's the star in it.
There's a fantastic comedian, Cat Williams, who is constantly talked about, the paedophile rings, the alleged paedophile rings in Hollywood. And he said that it was going to be hell in 2024 for these people, that the truth was going to come out. And I'm telling you, it's really starting to show people's true colors. It really is. It's crazy.
Do you know who had a terrible, tragic life?
Who?
And I'll tell you who it was. I've watched a lot of things on there, read a lot of things about her. Was Natalie Wood, that beautiful, very fine actress.
She was
Natalie
Wood. Yeah.
Died at the age of 42. She had a terrible. Do you know when she was young? She had to go. Her mother drove her to a hotel. I think she was very young, about 16 or something. And she had to meet some actor, and in his room. And anyway, her mother sent her up there to the room, waited for a few hours. She came back and she said, I don't want to do this no more, Mum. And do you know who it was? The actor. Allegedly.
Who?
Kirk Douglas.
No.
I've never liked him. I've never liked that man.
Jesus.
He's horrible, man. And do you know, an actress, he was in a film, and all of a sudden, this actress who was, on the set and everything else, and he was seen going away with her. Must have been after the shooting. That. Never seen again. Kirk Douglas.
Well, of course, Natalie Wood had that tragic. Well, she died tragically, and there's still massive question marks.
Oh, he made it there, He made it.
Yeah.
He made it.
And there's another American actor that murdered his wife. I can't think of his name. Weird looking fella.
It was a little fella who played Beretta in a TV series.
Yeah. He was interviewed by Piers Morgan.
Oh.
I can't think of him.
This fella's dead. Go on.
Oh no, he's dead now. I think he's dead now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I knew you mean, but I always remember his. I always remember his TV series, and it was a great TV series called Beretta, and he was like a detective or a private detective, and he was very good. He was very good. And he murdered his wife.
Yeah.
But he got away with it. He shot her.
TV series.
And the Ross says, Red says, Raw, my ticker stopped ticking, but all good now. How's yourself, bro? That's lovely, that. Made up for you, honestly.
Robert Blake.
Right, that's him, Robert Blake. That's him, Robert Blake. And he interviewed him, Piers Morgan, did he?
Yeah, Piers Morgan interviewed him when Piers was big in the States. Well, not too sure whether he was ever big in the States.
He was.
Well, he had a show on the States, but...
Yeah, he was in films and everything. It wasn't just like Beretta that he was in.
No, I'm talking about Piers Morgan.
Oh, Piers Morgan.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had George Galloway on a couple of months ago, and he ripped another bum for him.
Yeah, yeah. I actually like George Galloway. I think he's brilliant, very intelligent man.
Well, I've commented on his show, a couple of times, and he's read them out. And I actually commented twice on one show, and he read them out, the two comments. But there's always fucking clicks on these channels, the chats. And anyway, no one mentions about me, because the following week someone's name was, he said, oh, and such a body says this, George, because it's very rare that he reads out comments.
Mm.
And they read that, and they're all going, oh, it's great that you're talking, oh, look at that, you're a big star. I've never said fucking nothing about me the week before, there's two comments read out twice. He's never read two comments before.
No, I like him. I like him.
No, I like him myself because he stands up for truth.
Mm.
That's all that I watch. I don't watch any.
I saw him take on the U.S. Senate when they tried to. Yeah, years ago when they tried to basically insinuate that he had money and partnership
Yeah.
with Saddam Hussein. And my God, he tore them a new one. He destroyed them. And it was beautiful.
You don't, yeah, absolutely. He did. I was made up with that. And it's still on YouTube, by the way. Still on YouTube. Frank, this Trent story is bollocks, says TW. There you have it. And that's, that I'm made up with your comments, boys. And the Anfield, Red, you're sick of Jesus, pal. Are you okay? I've been trying to get contact with you, mate. I'm glad you're on the mend. Yeah, I was saying before that we was, when Red came on, and I said we've all been trying to get hold of you, and I got, I said to the Anfield Road, do you know anything about him? And so we're just made up your back. Honestly, we're made up your back. And the Anfield says, I think Gravenberch has really thrown a spanner in the works for midfield now. He looks a machine. If I'm being super critical, maybe we can invest in defence and a new wide player prospect. Well, I think I still say Anfield, we still need a number 6. I still say it, honestly. And people will say, well, what about Endo? Endo is not in Sloot's plans, as you all know. He's just been left out to dry. And a number 6, we definitely, because if Gravenberch gets injured, we're fucked. And I agree with you. He's a revelation. And the Red Juice says, Lord, I'm good, fine. Thanks for caring about me. I know you and Frankie, but to which warm, thank you, warms me up. You're one of us, mate. You're one of these lads on here. You're one of us. And James says, Frank, I'd love to have a discussion regarding politics, mate. The 1% are satanic pedo money grabbing individuals, but you have to be careful these days, otherwise your channel will get flagged. I know it will. I was warned once, but if you want me to do one tomorrow night, please, you've got to let me know, because I don't want to be doing a live pod on my own. If like not talking to anybody, on the chat or anything. I can't just be sitting there, like one of these fellas who go on pods and talk to themselves with fucking scripts and everything else. I just say it the way it is. I say it off the cuff, and that's what I'm like. All my DVDs, the history DVDs, it's all off the cuff. No scripts, no nothing. So I don't want to be sitting. So if you let me know, I'll definitely do it at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And you can join in and say what you want. And I'll read them out. And James says, Frank, I'd love to have a discussion regarding politics, mate. The 1% are satanic pedo money grabbing individuals, but you have to be careful these days. Otherwise, your channel will get flagged. Of course. Reggie, Ryan is different gravy this season for real. Yeah, I totally agree. What's that? Do that again. Do that again. You were doing that. What was that?
Bottled water.
You're trying to open that. Do you know what?
Do you think I did?
I thought there was something coming on your arm here. Do you know that I can't open anything? Like bottles or anything.
Yeah.
Because of this, what I've got down here.
All right. Right
down there. Fucking kills me. And my elbow's killing me now, my left elbow. Killing me. And, all the pain I go through for this pod. It's just unbelievable. And the Red you, well, good health to you, my friend.
Good health,
Next time your Next time your ticker stops, make sure you hit the likes. Let us know. It's selfish, brother, but seriously, I'm so glad you're back with us. So say all of us. Fantastic. The likes. It's fantastic. And James MK, you notice if you try to change things with a better like MX, JFK, MLK, RFK, they try to kill you or kill your reputation by all means possible. If you question, it's your conspiracy. Yeah, you're a conspiracy theorist. It's so easy. It's so easy. The way I'm glad you said that because you say something and conspiracy theorist, and it's like saying, oh well, what's happening in Gaza? Oh, that's oh, you're an anti-Semitic and all this nonsense.
Yeah.
Or you say something against say like anyone like that George Floyd. Most probably I'll get called a racist because the lad was a thug, and it was fantastic the way they did it. This Black Lives Matter, and had George Floyd, a big moral with fucking wings behind.
Well, like I said to you, Frank, it was about that Georgianchenko young lad in Blanchardstown in Dublin, who decided to go on a rampage and cause bodily harm to people, and tried to lunge at four Gardaí with a machete, and unfortunately he had to be taken out. Otherwise, it was a guard's life at stake.
Yeah.
And there was a Black Lives Matter movement on him, and you had political parties in opposition to the government in this country that jumped on that, and because they thought it was the right thing to do, which it wasn't. I mean, it just wasn't,
See, you can't look all this woke nonsense. Our Francine hates me saying, Dad, don't say woke. And I said, well, that's what it is, Francine.
What else do you call it?
It's wokeism. Anyway.
Yeah. It's nonsense.
And thanks for all the rushy explanation, Frank. Now it makes sense. Thank you, Red. Thank you. And that's absolutely genuine, honest to God. Tell you another thing. Everyone says about Luis Suarez, wanting to go to Barca. Believe you me, he was fucking begging Rodgers for him to stay. He said, please let me stay. Please let me stay. I want to play in the Champions League for this great club and these great fans. That's fact. And he said, no, you're fucking going. They've got a replacement for you. Ricky Lambert. And James says, United 2 up. Now it's 2-2. It's great to see.
Well, that's out of date, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Porto are now 3-2 up. Oh. Love it.
Oh. James, we all know the reason Stevie G never left us, even though he wanted to leave us twice for Chelsea and Madrid under Marino. Two Scousers. No to the story. No to the story. Of course. Of course. No, I'll definitely hit the likes first. You know what the Ross says? Well, if your tickets go, make sure you hit the likes. And he says, if I hit the likes first. Can't make these things up. Sorry, I had to go, but back now, says Martin Mason. The art, look, see.
He's getting me breakfast ready for Saturday morning. That's what he's doing.
Oh, you meeting him?
Yeah, Martin. That's Martin. Martin Mason.
Oh, Martin, yeah. We'll bring him up.
I think he's going to a car show on Sunday. But I know.
A car show?
A car show, honest to Christ.
For fuck's sake.
I know. I said that about him,
You only get to see Frank once.
I know.
Martin, Frank once. That's
Let's sort it out, Martin. Let's sort it out.
and James says YouTubers become that way when you talk about certain topics. If you don't say allegedly, you'll get flagged, possibly lose your channel. Now, Frank.
Well, you see, that's another thing, James A. I mean, when I did Fenway Become Not to Pay, all the stuff that was said about me and my mental health, and he must have lost his, he must be insane and all this kind of thing. They try and downplay and they try and criticize you because maybe you're making some truth to it or whatever, but the amount of insults that went flying my way was just it's incredible, and I'm sure, Frank, you get the same thing.
No,
yourself. Yeah.
Not half, mate. I'm telling you now. Anyway, the Anfield Road goes, Red Jew, bless you, brother. I'm so pleased you're okay. And look at all. You become an alcoholic.
The man squuttered.
Oh, it's fun. I love these lads. All that chat's absolutely brilliant. James, yesterday's footballers are not today's footballers. Most are money motivated today. It's sad, but true, says the
So true. You won't get the likes of Scholes or the likes of Gerrard or the likes of Jamie Carragher, one club players. You won't get that.
No.
You will not get it,
No. I've always said, like, they become mercenaries, Look, I know this may sound mad, but I'm a loyal person to anybody, I am a very loyal. Fall out with me and you're fucking gone. Know what I mean? That's it. No turning back. And that means in all walks of life as well. I fell out with people. I fell out with a fella. Well, I never fell out with him. He fucking fell out with me for some fucking stupid reason. And I said, Francine said, have you heard from him? I went like that. I said, no. She said, I said, I haven't heard from him for ages. So she got hold of this fella. And she said, Dad, he said that he sent you a message and you never replied. I said, oh, is that why I haven't heard from him since? And she said, yeah. What a fucking asshole. And I went like that. How many messages do I get? Know what I mean?
Well, I'm very cutthroat myself, Frank. I don't suffer fools gladly, certainly not anymore. And as you get older, you realize your time is precious, and you don't waste it on people that disrespect you.
Yeah. Raw, that's more like it. Now I feel back where I belong. Cheers, mate, says the Red Jew. Red Jew couldn't have said it better than myself, mate. So whatever he said before, Frank is a modern day prophet. If he says the Super League will be upon us in 5 years, you better believe it, people. I'm telling you, honest to God, I'm telling you. James, thanks, mate. That's lovely. I'm going to go down, lads. I want to try and catch up before we all go.
Yeah, I'm seeing a comment there that has taken my interest.
Well, what is it up here or down there?
It's further down. It's most recent. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, right. Okay, so I thought it would have been that one. Red, you saw it, ABR, so Frank has Jedi power.
Absolutely. Know the Force.
That's good. Yeah, look. 2 or 3 weeks before Floyd, a white man was killed by police. No, he was not. I remember that. I remember that, and you know, there's been loads of white people being killed by the police, and nothing gets mentioned.
Yeah.
Honestly, I always remember footage, and it was in a hotel, and someone complained that these people were making a noise, young people, and anyway, the cop was there, you know, he's holding his gun, and you see the corridor, and he's saying, come out, you know. So anyway, this young fella, and he said, get on the floor, spread your leg, you know. And so the lads was on, and he said, crawl to me. He said, I can't crawl. He said, I'm stretched out. And he went to crawl, and he went, stop. No one told you to move, now crawl to me, you know, like get up and crawl. And he fucking shot him.
I saw that, yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Wasn't that horrible? Yeah.
He was a big lad.
Wasn't that horrible?
Yeah.
And nothing fuck alls onto the cop. Nothing. So, you know, but no one says anything about that. No riots, no looting, no fuck all. Absolutely facts, Frank. Whenever Real Madrid are in for anything, other teams follow. Fiorentina, Perez is the Carlo, Gambino of FIFA and UEFA. Yes. No, they are. They're the most powerful. I'm going right. Where did you say? Is it that taking the knee has nothing to do with racism?
The comment that I was looking at.
Yeah, it hasn't.
No.
They are. Look, taking the knee has nothing to do with racism. BLM, funded by BlackRock, Soros, who funds Antifa, the woke clowns movement. Who are they taking the knee to? Their master, who they worship, the beast system. Of course, it is. It's a political movement, as BLM. Yeah, you're seeing that there, yeah. Oh, you're seeing it. Brilliant. Hang on. Sean, I'll let the dogs in. They want to have their say on screen. Woof, woof.
They're more vocal than me.
And the outfield says, Sean, my Irish brother, it's eating up for the watch, but JK is the man to stop. He's gone to pastures new as JK. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. Des Lynam's ankle is soaked and ready to have that watch removed. It's longer way to go, Sean.
I have some news, a news update. Bruno has just been sent off for United.
Brilliant. Do you know what I want our lads to watch, and you, Sean?
Yeah.
When we beat them 5-0, you see Curtis Jones, I'm sure it was that game, and you see Curtis Jones running down the right. It was at United, and that Bruno come in, and he has his studs, studs showing right over the ankle of the other fella there, Curtis Jones.
Well, he's nearly after taking out the Porto goalkeeper, with showing his studs. He's a dirty player. Martin will
he is dirty. I've said that many a time.
Yeah.
We used to have players going in the past, the likes of Norman Hunter, the likes of Robbie Stiles, Billy Bremner, Tommy Smith, Dave McCann. They were all hard players, but not one of them were dirty. They were just hard tacklers.
Graham Souness.
Graham Souness. Yeah. But he used to go looking for them.
Looking for them, yeah. Crazy.
And, James says Joseph is Youssef, and thank you. And it sure was Roberto Duran, Frank. Thanks, James. Roberto Duran. And the Redbird says, was Roberto lead singer in Duran?
Duran, what a band.
Yeah, look. The unfair Frankie, a little shout out to our own very own Nicky Ball, own fighter on featherweight. Yeah, I've seen him in an interview, just before the game, and he's tiny. I had a famous uncle. He was a boxer in the 20s and 30s, and he was known as the Liverpool Whop. My great uncle, that is. He was known as the Liverpool Whopper over in America.
Right.
Sorry.
No, I'm saying right. I'm listening to you.
All right. Yeah. So anyway, he goes over, and he's the only English boxer, and even today, to have 7 bouts, and he beat the American champion, and he beat the world champion as well, but it wasn't for a title. In Madison Square Garden, and he won 6 and drew 1 of his 7 fights, and he was known as the Liverpool Whop. Don Valenti, his name was.
Well, I must give a shout out if I can.
Go on,
Frank.
Go on.
So Martin's lad, Toby. He's fighting in a boxing tournament called Checkmate, which is Ring King Boxing proudly presents Checkmate. So he's fighting another lad. I can't think of his name, but that lad is going to get beaten anyway. So big up to Toby. Really, really talented young man. He actually played for Liverpool. He was in goals for Liverpool underage. So really, really top guy. Met him last year. But yeah, he'd be in a boxing tournament now on Saturday, and hopefully he'll win. Otherwise, I'll have to interfere with a steel chair to the back of someone's head or something.
Well, my granddad, he was the brother of my Uncle Tom, great Uncle Tom. He was fighting at Outfield. And anyway, there was a decision. And my granddad, a fella by the referee, was a well-known referee at the time. He was a well-known boxer as well, just before. And his name was Bombardier Billy Wells. And anyway, granddad picked a chair up and hit him over the head with it.
Jesus.
Because he was a second, you see. He was one of the second Uncle Tom. Banned forever. Banned. Go around it and referees over the head. Anyway. And French vinegar stroke arms, yes. Yeah. Keep rubbing them, when you're not looking like this, rubbing the little elbow on me.
Golfer's elbow, as they call it.
And you know what, though? Even when it, we do that clicking this bloody mouse thing.
Yeah.
Kills me. And James A says, hey, Red, you call me Jane. I'm not part of the ABC 123 community. It's James, not Jane.
Yeah.
I saw someone today outside with a mask on, and it was raining. If you have a wet rag on your face, it will make you sick. Brainwashing runs deep with sheeple, bless them, says James. I don't understand that, fucking hell. I'm going right down here. Going right down so I can catch up. Hang on. James says, Frank, I will let you have this saying, mate. Cross me and you have lost me.
I like that.
Isn't that brilliant?
That. Yeah, I
you
like that.
Said that. I wonder if that's a quote. Cross me, you have lost me.
I like that.
I love quotes, You know what I mean? I really love them. And I love the likes of Oscar Wilde. His quotes. Love him. I love all the quotes. One of my favourite quotes of all time is by Jean-Jacques Rousseau, a French philosopher. You know, the 1700s, the 1800s, the 18th century. And he said, man is born free. However, he is everywhere in chains. Think about that.
I like that.
Right today. And that goes back to 1774. Everywhere in chains. However, they are everywhere in chains.
Well, there's a lot of history in my hometown, which is in North Kildare, and it's a little Viking village called Leixlip, and there's a house that Samuel Beckett actually used to live in, and yeah, and it was turned into a restaurant now. Unfortunately, it's closed down. But if you Google Beckett's Hotel,
waiting for Godot.
It's a beautiful place now. Beautiful place.
You know, one of the greatest plays, Waiting for Godot. Beckett. I know my literature, you know, used to teach it.
You know your stuff, absolutely.
Used to teach that. Yeah, as I said, I love quotes. And one of the great quotes by the wonderful Oscar Wilde is I can resist anything except temptation.
I like that one, yeah.
It's fantastic. Don't forget, Frank, all white people have unconscious bias. I hear a YouTuber say another tuber had it because he thought a certain player was better than this black player. Yeah. I was talking to a mate of mine, right? He's not on tonight, unfortunately. You know, on the chat, that is. And he was talking about, he's not homophobic or anything like that. And he was just talking about, and he said, it's good that, you know, he said, like gays, you know, smashing and, you know, whatever. He said, but what I can't stand, now this fella's got 5 kids, he said, what I can't stand is, you know, when you see men on the telly kissing and really, like, giving it the bit, you know, the kiss. I said, yeah. I said, well, it's every man. I said, it's the way it is now today. I said, but I was talking to a psychologist friend of mine going back years ago. And she said to me, she said, darling, she said, do you realise that every man and woman has homosexual tendencies? And I went, you know, she said, she has homosexual. And I said, I haven't.
Every man and woman.
Every man and woman has some homosexual tendencies. And I said, she said, only a little percentage. She said, put it this way. She said, have you a best friend? And I went, yeah. She said, that's a homosexual tendency. Not that you go to bed with him and make love to him or anything like that. She said, it's that, you know, oh, I don't have like this. I love this person. And you never said, I love this fella. I said, yeah, I've said it to, you know, people. I love him. And they said, yeah, I love him myself. She said, that this homosexual tendencies. And I went, oh, okay.
Not too sure about that now.
Well, that's what she said to me. And that stuck with me all this time for years. So I don't tell anyone I love them anymore. Only the good old women.
So that private mail that you sent me, Frank, saying that you loved me, you didn't mean
it. It's like all these what I said before. I love all that
shit. United have equalised.
No, they lost 4-1. No, United lost 3-2, says Nick. Oh, are you watching it?
I'm watching it. It's 3-3.
Right. And James A says, Frank, my cousin is Tasha Jonas. Wow. Tasha Jonas. Is she single?
Tasha Jonas. I'll have a look at that now and see what she's.
I don't like when people show
the boxer.
Do you know when people show Tasha Joe? Oh, Tasha, yeah.
Natasha Jonas.
The boxer. Go away. She's good, eh?
Yeah.
She's good, eh? But I don't like to see women, beating each other. I don't like that.
Well, I used to live out in Bray in Wicklow many, many years ago. And the kind of social circle that I had at the time involved one or a family by the name of Taylor. And they happened to be the sister of Katie Taylor, the boxer, who is an absolute legend. Lovely, lovely girl. Not met her personally, but her family are lovely. And by God, she can box.
Yeah, I know. And James says right there, she's a professional boxer, Frank. Yeah, the name. The name rang a bell, to be honest. Tasha. And we were all football fans and everything else. I was going, Tasha, footballer. But not a female footballer, but a fella footballer. And James MK, we shall not cease. Okay, now there's another. Where do these flies come from? Please. I've got it. Oh, first time I've ever killed a fly while in flight. I hate flies,
I can't stand them.
I was looking up the other monitor. And I swiped it with the crucible.
The flies were crucified by the crucible.
Oh. We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. T.S. Eliot, one of my favourite quotes. That is a cracker. T.S.
I like this one by Mark Simmons. Be yourself, for everyone else is taken. Oscar Wilde. I like that.
Yes. Right underneath. Be yourself for everyone. Be yourself, for everyone else is taken. It's like when you break up from someone and someone put a cracking quote after. I forget the author, and he said, if you look, and if you're with someone else and you're looking for me, you won't find me inside that person.
Wow.
It was a powerful quote. I forget who said it, actually.
God, we could do a podcast on quotes.
I love honestly, I do love quotes. I really do. And Marcus Aurelius as well. He came out with some crackers. He said, "A fellow human being is not an enemy. It's other people who make them enemies." Think about that.
Well, there's
Go on.
We were talking about tattoos there last night, and there was a quote. Well, not a quote. It's off a song that I love. It's from an American band called Queens of the Stone Age.
Okay.
The song's called "Go with the Flow." But there's a part of the song where he says, "I want something good to die for, to make it beautiful to live." And I absolutely adore that quote. I love it.
That is brilliant.
I want
That
something
is
good to
brilliant.
die for to make it beautiful to live.
There was Harry Nilsson, and I was about 18 or something like that, and this girl jumped me. She jumped me, and I always remember just sitting back like, jumped, 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 poor Frank's jumped, and Harry Nilsson come on, and he said, I can't live, I can't take anymore.
It's amazing what you put yourself through after you've been dumped, and you make things 10 times worse by the music you listen to, you know?
Do you know what? When I was lecturing, I had to I had to help this lad. He was smashing. His mother got hold of me and said, "Can you help me, son, please?" And you're the only one to help him. So anyway, I said, yeah, because she wanted him to graduate and everything else. So I said, yeah, no problem. So I gave him my address. I said, if you ever need any help, I said, just come around and see me. So anyway, he came one day. He was a lovely fella. And so anyway, he was all miserable and everything. And I said, yeah, sit down. I was in the kitchen, sit down. I said, how can I help? And he had the radio on. Now, I always had classical music on when I was marking for some reason. I always had that. I love my classical music. But anyway, I just had the radio on, songs and whatever. And I said, are you all right? He said, I haven't come down for help. He used to call me Doc, Doc. I said, yeah. I said, what's up? And he said, my girlfriend, we've split up. He said, and it's the only girlfriend I've ever had. And I said, oh. And, I'm just sitting there. And I said, I'm awfully sorry. I said, but I can't help you on that. I thought you come down about your work. He said, no. He said, I can't talk to my mother about it. And he said, I'm devastated. And do you know what come on?
Wow.
Only the lonely.
It's terrible, though. It's absolutely terrible.
And I was like, and I was playing in the background. I was concentrating on him, and he's listening to me. No more sunset in the sky.
I'm very blessed.
No, not only the love, it's over. That's what it was. It's over.
Or what's Tom Jones' song that he did with? Oh my God, I can't think of the guy's name. He was a famous singer and a songwriter, but the song is called "Never Love Again."
No.
I can't think.
No, I've never heard it.
Oh, it's a great song, But I'm lucky, Frank. I have a friend who is he's been in several bands, but there's one particular band called Still Room. And when I was going through a really, really bad breakup, horrible breakup, there was a song called that they had called "I'm Doing Fine Without You," and I'd be blaring that 24/7 to get me through it. And it's amazing the power of music, the same way as power, you kind of go looking for motivation and a kick up.
Do you know what mine is? Do you know what mine is? The 1812 Overture.
The which?
1812 Overture, Tchaikovsky.
Okay.
I love it. And then right after that, I'm still a little bit down. Right after that, I put Carl Orff's O Fortuna on. It's fantastic, and it brings it out of me. Those two pieces of music. Love it. What is the answer? Quick question: is James A the very first James, and James MK is the very 24th? He's connected to fantastic. That's great. That's so funny. And James A. One more, Frank, because you got me feeling like a poet. Live life before your wake is a different week.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, it's powerful, that, James.
I'll tell you, that's really, really good.
It says, live life before your week is a different week. So you've got to live your life. That's what it's all
I
about.
like that.
That's what it's all about. And you know, like the likes of Oscar Wilde, when, I hate any blood sport, and one of the quotes, the unspeakable in pursuit of the uneatable. Think about
Oh,
that. The foxes.
I like that. Evening, Daryl.
Where is he?
Second bottom.
Yeah, oh, I know. Even in Frank and Sean, you'll never walk alone. Hiya, Daryl. Hope you're well, mate. Keep strong. That's all I can say to you. Keep strong, please. And James A. replying to the red jet. You can have it, bro. Hopefully your wallet won't have cobwebs in it, mate.
Like John W. Henry's.
Like John W. Ender. That's what you should have said. That's what you should have said. And the red says, as long as my weight isn't woke, it'll do for me, James.
Oh, well said.
That's it, crack.
Well said, Red.
Isn't it nice, though, to have all these things? And as James says, life is like riding a bike. You fall off, you get back on. You get back on your bike. Yes. Yes, we've all been, I don't care what anyone says, we've all been through bad times and, like the Red Jew, he had a scare and we were all worried about him. I had a scare 2 years ago and I died as well. And he brought me back. It's one of those journeys that we wake up from. We wake up from. Whereas there are other journeys that unfortunately people don't wake up.
Don't come back from. No.
Oh, absolutely. I love that. The journey, not the destination, matters.
T.S. Lewis, yeah. Lewis, or Eliot, should I say.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And Bonfire Night soon. Chuck Henry and Ward Hughes on Edwards on it. Good job you wasn't listening to us before there, Daniel.
Tell you.
Oh, blimey. And, it's surprising what the lads think. Everybody there, what they think of, the owners, what we think of. I always remember on a pod, someone said Jürgen should have gone 2 years ago before he went.
I think there's certainly some truth to that. I mean, I think the poor man had quite a lot to do, and I mean, people are commenting on what he looks like now after retirement or after leaving Liverpool. He looks 20 years younger. But I think if FSG have done such a great job, then why is there such a divide within the fan base? And why is there a clique of YouTubers and podcasters and journalists trying to persuade people that they're doing a good job? I mean, there wouldn't be any need for a David Ornstein to go on to YouTube channels and podcasts and talk about Richard Hughes doing a fantastic job if he was doing a fantastic job, because we'd all see it, you know. So it's a matter of people adding 2 and 2 and getting 4, and seeing it for themselves. Think outside the box. Don't think what you have been told and what has been shoveled down your neck. And I think the motto from this evening's stream is that, you know, you've got to have a mind of your own and think outside the box, because if you are led and said by every Tom, Dick and Harry that pushes them
Well, we
out.
are, and that's one of the most important things of our own lives. You know, you can follow a path, a certain path, and you can take the wrong path and, you know, become a horrible person because of the company that you've already gone with, you know.
Yeah.
And also you can take the righteous path, which, you know, you become a likable person. I always remember a colleague of mine saying to me, "You want everyone to like you." I said, "Fucking right I do. I don't want anyone to hate me or dislike me. Why? Why would I want anyone?" And he couldn't answer it. He couldn't answer the fucking stupid question that he asked. You want everyone to like you, don't you? I said, "Yeah, I do. Show a little respect to the people, no matter who they are, and they'll show a little respect back. And if they don't show a little respect back, they're the people who you don't like."
Yeah. And I think, you know, as you get older, you start to realize that. Like I, you know, had kind of a rude awakening over the last number of years, especially after, you know, finishing up podcasting and YouTube and my own channel, and realized that I had spent quite a lot of time with the wrong people, and dedicating a lot of time with the wrong people. And now I'm very, very cutthroat when it comes to people. You know, if someone, you know, I give an awful lot of myself, and I'm not tooting my own horn. I've made mistakes, and I've had to do a lot of soul searching and stuff. But now, like, I try and give an awful lot of myself to people. But if they take that for granted, or if they treat me like crap, I have an expression which some of my friends absolutely cannot stand. I'm too old a cat to be fecked by a kitten. And that's how I look at things, you know.
Yeah. It's so profound, isn't it? I you know, as I said, I've been, you know, throughout the years, I've had terrible ups and downs. I've had health scares, broken neck, you know, and things like that, which has affected me now because I can hardly walk, unfortunately. And with that, I try to have a positive outlook.
Yeah.
I honestly do. I try to have a positive outlook on life itself, because I look at my daughter, my 2 grandsons, and my little granddaughter, Sophia, you know. I look at them and they keep me going. Believe it or not, this keeps me going. It really does, and it lifts me, because albeit that we could, how can I say this, Sean? Albeit that we get down in the dumps and, you know, whatever, and there are things that lift us. You mentioned before, and I totally agree 100% that music lifts you. But it also reminds you of some horrible things in the past. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
Some funny thing, like that lad who came down. I thought he came down with an essay or something, you know, for me to have a look over. And his girlfriend packed him up, and there's "It's Over" on by Roy Orbison. It's over. I couldn't turn it off. It was one of them digital things, you know. I said, I'm awfully sorry. I said, come out in the garden, get that thing off the tree. I'm only kidding, but honestly, God. And they're the funny things, but sad things. Got the juxtaposition by being funny and sad at the same time. It's just nuts. Oh, there's the sideline.
There's the sideline, yeah.
Oh. I do not waste time on them. That's a quote. I do not waste time on them. I don't waste time on Western narrative. That's what I do. Side. Don't waste time on that. Marion Morrison was a former actor, and Harvey Leach, and a famous singer was called Mary O'Brien, or David Jones, or Robert Zimmerman. These were the birth names, Frank. I know. John Wayne, am I right? Harvey Leach was Cary Grant. The famous singer was called Mary O'Brien. She was out of, that was Dusty Springfield. Or David Jones, or Robert Zimmerman was Bob Dylan. These were the birth names, Frank. Yep. And I didn't Google. That's a crack.
That's very good.
That's a crack, that, James. See, my real name is Franco Calucci.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Perché io mezzo italiano. Hey.
Hey. Well, I wish there was something interesting about my name, but it's not nearly as interesting as yours.
Sure, I think yours is a great name.
It's my dad's name.
That's a great name.
I'm Junior.
Yeah. Isn't it strange how, some people put Junior after their name?
Yeah.
And, you get other people who, look at particular names and they've got something, it's an hyphenated name, if you know what I mean, a double barrel name.
Yeah.
And they've got the third and the fourth and everything else. Fuck off, you know what I mean?
Well, I know, like my dad's name is almost identical to my name. Insofar as my first name and my middle name and obviously the surname, but my confirmation name is completely different to his, because back in his day, whatever school he was in, he had to pick a saint's name, and the school picked out the name, and it's a horrible name, which I won't mention, so I didn't use that.
Right. Okay.
I did know he is the Italian Job.
Well, there you go, you see. And that's how I got that, you see.
Yeah. He got that straight for me.
There's a big scrap over between Sean and the obvious role.
I wouldn't even mind, Frank. I'm actually doing better in your league than I am my own, which I don't know how in the Lord God that happened, but whatever. Yeah, I'm in third at the moment in
Well, Italian spelling is bad. I think I haven't a clue what that is. Kikatujichi. I don't know. Hey, Franco, come stare. What's that, James? Frank, from now on, I'm calling you Don Franco Chesco. Franco Chesco.
I don't know whether you watch Mighty Reds 97, which is Brandon from South Africa, but someone said to him that he looks like Chiesa, and ever since I've heard that, he actually looks a spit image of Chiesa. So yeah. Check it out.
Who's that?
Brandon, you know when Brandon comes on here?
Brandon, yeah, Brandon, yeah.
From South Africa.
Yeah.
He
looks like,
Chiesa.
Yeah, Federico Chiesa. Do you know what they say, Federico? It's Federico. You know, it's you know the way they pronounce. You know, it's like Carlo. We say Carlo Ancelotti, and it's Ancelotti. You know, it's just the way they pronounce it. And it means what the fuck, says the satellite. Oh. The first, you know, my grandmother, she was a terrible and she used to learn me all the bad language in Italian.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And when she used to argue with my granddad, she used to always say, I was a kid, a little mad kid. And she was, Bangula, your mama. And he used to go, he used to just go, Mum, and walk out, you know. And it was ages after I said to her, you know, when I got a little bit, only a little bit older, you know, like in the early teens or so. I said, well, what was that, Bangula, your mama? What did that mean? Go fuck your mum.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I said, I can't say that again. You don't say. She said, oh, it's all right. It's only what grown-ups say anyway. JM, reckon you will ever do another documentary, Frank, about the streets of Liverpool? Do you know what? I had this lad this year, a drone, and he was a friend of mine. And I gave him a plan. I said, you know, to do this drone effect around, I said, that'll be the start of what I want to do. I said, so, you know, told him the places to go. I'll do these drones. And I was going to, honestly, you know, I was going to be a cracking DVD. And he said, I said, do you want paying that? He said, no, I'll wait until I do it. I said, oh, that's great. And he said, I'll edit for you, you know, whatever you want to do. I've got all the equipment there and, you know, whatever you want to say. I said, okay, yeah. I said, that's fantastic. Do it. So I was waiting for him to, you know, get back to me and say, I've done the way you said for me to do. Because I was saying, you know what to do, you know, because as I was explaining, he said, yeah, okay, I will. I said, but he never got back to me. He never had, whether it's too late now because I wanted it done in the sunshine. I wanted to go out. I wanted to do it within 2 days in the sunshine. And I was going to interview players as well. I asked Jan Mulby, I said, would you appear? And he said, yeah. I asked actors, and they said, yeah, no problem. We'll appear. And writers, a couple of, you know, because I was going to go like to, you know, in front of a theatre, I was going to go up to Anfield and, you know, places like that and interview, you know, from like footballers. It was only all about Liverpool, you know, the city of Liverpool. And I had them all in place and everybody agreed to do it. And the lad never got back to me.
That's a pity.
And, you know, so JM, honestly, I would have put in the streets as well because I was going to throw us on YouTube and I was going to do some fantastic streets that you wouldn't dream of where the name came from. One of them is in the middle of town called Union Street, right? Union Street. And it's a big Irish connection. And we named it Union Street in 1801. 1801. And it's when, and this might hurt you actually, Sean. It's when William Pitt the Younger brought in um, Ireland into the Union, England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, and over today. So Union State. So I was going to name things like that, and it's right in the heart of town. Right in the heart of town.
That'd be because I know that Martin was having a look at your history stuff, and so was I. I was looking at the one where you're outside the Irish centre, which you couldn't get into now because the roof is caved in. And
I've graduated 4 times,
and
I mean, big graduations. I don't mean like getting a little diploma here and there. And I used to go in there, just the lads used to, even members of my own family said they actually go for the bevy. We always went in the Irish Centre. I know everything about the Irish Centre. I know when it was built in 1816. And you know what? Do you know when I talk about Irish people go like, oh, go away. You haven't a fucking clue. They're like so Wellington, Dublin born. And it was called the Wellington Rooms after his victory over Napoleon at Waterloo in 1815. And when I mention about Oscar Wilde, James Joyce, all these people, George Bernard Shaw, one of the greatest quotes ever to come out of George Bernard Shaw was about the Irish famine. And I always quote it when I used to give a lecture about it, always quoted it. And he said, how could there be a famine when the country was full of food?
Yeah.
What a quote.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of which, there's Federico Brandon Chiesa.
Where?
Maybe Reds 97. There he is at the.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Stan.
That's Brandon, yeah.
Hello, Brandon. The Mighty Reds 97. Evening, guys. Evening, Brandon.
Brandon has a very, very special evening, Brandon.
Federico Chiesa.
Brandon has a very, very special video coming out. I won't mention anything, but it's his score prediction videos that's on TikTok, and I think it's on YouTube as well, on his Instagram. But this week is going to be very special, very special.
Okay, that's good.
I'll be on it, but there'll be someone else on it.
We always try to like predictions, don't we?
Yeah.
And I'll be on tomorrow night anyway, but it's got nothing to do with the football show. It's just if anyone joins me, that's fine. About the current Wales affairs, that's what it is. Wales affairs, what's going on in the bloody world today, and I don't think people realise we're on the precipice of a nuclear war. I don't think people realise this. Anyway, that's it for another thing. I'm going to ask the lads. I'm going to ask the lads about their predictions. So come in with your predictions. James A says, good night, boys. Another great night, Frank, Sean, and chat. Until next time, you'll never walk alone. Thank you, James.
Good night, James.
Much. Thank you. And JM, do you know much about the history of Royal Street in Liverpool 4, Frank? Do I know much about that? Yeah. I know everything about it. Everything. And people go, I've told someone else that. I forget what it was. I forget where it was. And someone asked her. And I said, it was actually named after an assurance company, because that's where they had the first office. And they went, oh, go away. And they said, what assurance company? Now, these lads got together and they felt so sorry for the likes of me and you, Sean, and the likes of the chat, because back in the day, they had no, they had no money. And do you know where they used to go to bury them? Bury their relatives or something. They used to go up to the workhouse and they used to throw them in the lime pit because they couldn't afford to bury them. So these lads got together in a pub, by where I grew up, actually. A pub in Islington, just off Islington, where I grew up. And St. Anne Street it was, the pub. And they said, let's make an assurance company to assure people we'll just to afford a pittance so that we can bury and give them a dignified send off. And they went, yeah, great, yeah, okay. And that's where the likes of the Irish Wakes came into it.
Yeah.
The Irish Wakes, where I seen some wakes where when I was, like younger, went on for weeks, celebrating the day. Went on for weeks. Anyway, and the pub's name was the Liver, and they called it the Royal Liver. And it was in the street that they had the first little office, hence Royal. How's that?
That's interesting. That's very interesting. I'll tell you though, the Irish are very famous for their wakes. My dad, when he was young, he was actually a drummer in an Irish band in Achill Island, which is the west of Ireland. And at a wake, they used to play games, pass the button or something like that. And if the music stopped and they had the button, you had to kiss the corpse. And one particular corpse, he had to be tied down into the coffin because he died sitting up. So there was like a string, or a rope, whatever, that had him secure in the coffin. So anyway, they're having a game of pass the button, and the buttons or the music stopped, and the button was given to this guy, and he had to kiss the corpse. Unfortunately for this gentleman, someone untied the rope, and the corpse went flying up and let this ghastly air out of him and scared the living bejesus out of the whole wake. But this was what they used to do in Achill. It's just crazy, some of the stories that like I have from my father. And I kind of feel like I haven't lived because he got up to far more mischief than I did. But, yeah.
Well, there was an old friend of mine, and he got a job right at the Royal Infirmary, our hospital, and they put him as in the morgue. And every morning, he only lasted 3 weeks. Because every morning he used to go in and go, "Get up, you lazy bastards." And someone was walking past, and he said, "That's terrible. That's very undignified. These poor people lying there." He said, you better stop it. So we said, okay, I will. I'll definitely stop it. But he was doing it. Like, get up, you lazy bastards! It's 7 o'clock. Anyway, he got the sack. That's true. That's
But sure,
true.
look at. Did you see what did they call it? The mortician for Diego Maradona, who took pictures of Diego Maradona laid out, and he actually got killed.
Go away.
He was actually killed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They felt, well, obviously it was very disrespectful of him, but the picture had circulated all over the internet, and he's there, and Diego Maradona flat out in the in the coffin, and your man was killed later on.
Well, the likes of in Naples, Napoli, they have models and everything. He's a god over there. God is Diego, and they still worship him today.
Yeah.
Diego, I think he was the best footballer in the world. You know, people say Pele, people say Messi and Ronaldo. He was the best player ever. That's just my opinion, by the way.
There's a great documentary on Pele on Netflix that I watched. Really, really interesting. And there was actually I think of a kind of a series on Diego Maradona as well. But you won't get the likes of those players ever again. I think after Ronaldo.
No, ever. You'll never get them again.
I'll never forget Diego Maradona '94, the '94 World Cup, which was the last World Cup he was in, and he was celebrating a goal, and he ran up towards the camera and looked absolutely crazy. And I think that was the last game he played for Argentina.
You know, there are some players who I think get overhyped, and I don't know. I was on I forget what it was. So it was on my pod sometime. No, it wasn't. It was on someone's pod, and he was saying, someone mentioned Beckham. I said, I never ever seen Beckham beat a player, ever. I said, the only thing that he'd done was the likes of free kicks and dead ball situations. I said, that's all he ever did. And yet they made him to be one of the greatest players, and that was Beckham.
No, he wasn't.
That's it. That's just my opinion.
I wouldn't even have him top 10.
No.
Wouldn't even have him top 10. I wouldn't even consider him.
And JM says, thoughts on Nunes, Frank? Well, he had his chance the other night, and he fell flat, unfortunately. And he did, I wanted him to do well. I want every Liverpool player to do well. But that goal he scored offside, he should realise now when to go. He's quicker than any of them. And he should have just held back and gone on and done it. And he would have been down to a great goal. But that's his...
He gets caught offside far too often. And I mean, for someone that wants to be taken seriously and the amount of money that we spent on him, he really needs to start. He really needed to hit the ground running, and I don't know how much improved his English is, but I don't think it's improved that well, because it doesn't look like the communication between him and his teammates is any more improved than it was last season. Obviously, he has to have the opportunity of playing, but when you have that opportunity and you're not taking the opportunity, then you've not got anyone else to blame but yourself. Yes. Liverpool is not a crash. Liverpool, we need players to hit the ground running. We can't wait for a player to develop unless you're in the academy. But if you're not and you're playing at senior level, welcome to the big boys. We're not a Man United. We're not here to change your attitude or whatever. We're there for you to succeed, and that's it.
Well, the mighty Reds, I just want to grab Nunes and say, my brother, use your pace to your advantage and start your runs from deeper. He doesn't need to constantly hang on the shoulder of the defence. And he does.
Yeah, well said.
Well said. Exactly.
Brandon's a top lad.
And IBR, Ronaldinho was a massive talent, but used to party all the time, apparently. There's a lad who played for Real Madrid, but I forget his name. Marcelo,
yeah.
He's in jail now, doing years.
You should look at Hulk.
Hulk.
Yeah, look at Hulk. Brazilian number 9.
Oh.
He was the next big thing, and again, he partied too hard, and he's not playing football anymore, and he didn't reach his full potential.
Hulk, yeah, and that was his name, wasn't it, Hulk?
Yeah,
that was mad. That
not Hulk Hogan now.
Oh, look, we should have had him on. We thought he just said hello. Well, take care, lads. Got to go back to work. I'll watch it later. Shame that side. I'm sorry there, mate, honestly. We could have had you on for the last few minutes. James MK, the 2 most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. Mark Twain.
I like that. So true.
Yeah. Mark Twain. He loved Liverpool, Mark Twain.
Did he?
Yeah, he came to Liverpool. And he said, this is such a fine city. Such a fine city. I like it. He said, that's true, that. And Mighty Red says, it's Hulk smash, not Hulk get smashed. So I should have told it.
That's very funny.
And yeah, that's a cracker, that. And Reggie later team, who's team? I don't know. I'm sorry there, Reggie. I'm sorry, mate. I'm really am. But anyway, I'm going to finish this now. If you don't mind.
I don't mind at all, Frank. I feel like I've been kind of sitting there with you the last 2 nights that we've done, like 3 episodes or 2 episodes, 3 hours each. I think that's fairly good going.
Yes.
Fairly good going.
But it's these lads on the chat.
Absolutely.
It's the lads on the chat. I've just made up that lad there, Red Dew. And what a lovely gesture to put that Jew on the end.
Yeah.
Who saved his life. That's beautiful, man. I really think that's beautiful. I made up that. Honestly, Red Dew, we were so worried. And I mean worried, we were saying, has anybody heard from Redbeard? Just made up that you're back with us. And as he says, great show, Shauno. You must invite Frank on again. He seems like a sound fella. See you tomorrow, Frank.
We actually we are trying to get Frank on our show, and obviously Sideline as well, and Fozzie, and obviously Mighty Reds 97 or Brandon. Like what we're trying to do at AKM LFC is help other channels that have the same mentality as us, because I think that's the only way to go. I think there's 2, as I said to you last night, Frank, there are 2 or 3 main channels that I don't think are really
No,
represent the fan
no,
base fairly. And I think
no.
if we all stick together and promote each other and help each other out, I think
Yeah,
the viewers and everyone would be better off for it.
I
So that's
think,
what.
and you're right. We should be collective. We really should be because there are decent channels out there that are not fully representative, shall we
Yeah,
say, and they're better than the ones that are well representative,
yeah, yeah.
represented rather. And
I sorry, Frank. Yeah,
no, I was just going to say, so you're spot on there, about like joining forces, if you know what I mean. And that's what we should be doing,
well,
really,
that
with decent
yeah,
people.
exactly, and I mean that's all I'm interested in doing. That's why I haven't started up my a channel. I don't really have any intentions of doing it. And plus I don't have the time. But I'm more than happy to get on here. I'm more than happy to help out with Adam on Adam's channel and doing AKM live and obviously do the score prediction with Brandon on Mighty Reds 97. But I think that collectively we can join forces, promote each other, and also help out small businesses that are selling Liverpool stuff. Like I have my own shop, but I mean I'm wearing a Jack
That's
Designs
nice.
UK,
That's nice.
and I'm very supportive of him. He's done fantastic, designs and what have you, and sells really really good stuff. If I can get over to that place near the Flatiron that you keep promoting,
Oh,
I'll,
yeah, a scarf and badge. Yeah.
yeah, I'll definitely be buying off them. But that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to kind of have a with the paid members. What we're trying to do is kind of have like quizzes and spot prizes and promotions where people have a chance of winning stuff. Now it's nothing like the caliber of your watch, Frank.
No,
That would be on my wrist, but it will be worthwhile, and plus then you have the hidden bonus of each and everyone helping out each other, and that's what real community is. It's not segregated. It's being inclusive and bringing back the banter and bringing back the difference of opinion without saying, well, you're wrong, he's right, you're not welcome, he is, you know.
but when you come over Sunday, see, I'll show you something, and you'll go, "Wow, that's
Okay.
what you're to me." You'll go,
Okay. I'm looking forward to that.
and I'll just finish off with these. Mark Twain's real name was Samuel Clemens. Good night, guys. Says James M.K.
Yep.
JM. See you later, Frank. And yeah, the IBR. Excellent show, Franco and Shonino.
Johnny.
That's,
That's
that's great. The Red G. Most of the channels are clickbait negativity merchants. Half of them seem to hate Liverpool, yet they are, yeah, say they are fans. Yes. That's what it is. You never see on here an headline, with a question mark or an exclamation mark or anything, because that's clickbait. And they use it all the time, constantly.
well.
Constantly. Like, tune in. Loads of
My, my
bollocks.
my answer to that, Red Jew, if I can, is that when have you ever come across a journalist that if you question them, they start insulting you online? I mean, that's to me, that's ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah.
what about the Netspend boys, James Pearce, and then he questions the Netspend 8 or 9 years later. Chris Bashcombe about Olympic crying. Someone from the Liverpool Echo, I can't think of his name, but going on about people questioning FSG, wanting the club run like Chelsea and Man United, which they don't.
Well,
They have every right to ask the questions that this clique isn't asking, and the only reason why they're not asking it is because they don't want to lose their exclusives,
of course,
and the perks at the club. So really, the true sellouts are those, and they're the ones that are cheating the listeners and the viewers. And if you want to buy into that, fair enough, but they're not being honest. And
no, of course
and my attitude is the further you move away from that, the more truth you get. Like Steve Nicol on NBC. Some people may not like him, but he speaks the truth. If you,
I like Steve Nicol. I like him.
If you went to see John Aldridge and Ray Houghton on one of the Liverpool Legends gigs that I was at, you'll see him, both of them speak about FSG, and not in a great way. They question these owners and their real ambition, and if they can't afford, to stick at the club and do something for the club and invest in the team, they need to sell out. And this is what countless Liverpool legends have said. So there you go.
Well, as I think that was a good one there. Most of the channels are clickbait, negativity merchants, and that's right. Absolutely. The mighty Reds. Good night, guys. You'll never walk alone.
Night, Brandon.
Thanks to Watchman, says James MK. Mark Simons. It's mad to think that Earl Ripper was buried only a stone's throw from Anfield Stadium. The Ripper. I'll be doing the Ripper on the history show, actually. Not Monday. I've got something lined up for Monday. Very true, Shano. And that's what you've just been saying there about everything. And it's all for me to say, listen, if any, I'll be going out live tomorrow, 8 o'clock. I'm talking about all the current issues in the world today. Not all of them, because I don't know much about the middle of Borneo, if you know what I mean. But I do know what's going on in the Middle East and in Europe, the eastern part of Europe. So I'll be going on there. I know what's going on in America. I know what's going on in this country. I know what's going on in, the Western Europe, and so to speak. So I'll be talking in depth tomorrow about it. You could agree, you mightn't agree. It's up to you. So I'd love you to tune in and just say, and Mark Simons, he's over there in Gibraltar. Keep saying, give Gibraltar back to the Spanish. Free Gibraltar. Hashtag Free Gibraltar.
Need for Gibraltar.
Make Ireland great again. How about that?
Yes.
Make Liverpool great again. I mean, the city is already great, if you know what I mean. But anyway, it's a big thank you, Shano.
Thank you, Frank.
I'm going to send over immediately my address and phone number so you can text,
Brilliant.
Okay. Cheers, mate. Thank you so much. Thank you tremendously, chat. And you, Red Jew, absolutely delighted that you're back with us. Made up that you're okay. And you know what? I love the way you give that red, Jew. That's fantastic gesture. Fantastic. Well done, mate. You're a good man. And I love you, so I'm a sexual. I love you, so. What did I say last night about, it sounded a different atmosphere. The hemisphere. Oh, lovely. I'll see you all tomorrow night if possible. If not, see you Saturday morning with the film and TV review. And if not, then hope to see you on Monday night with the history show, which is good. But definitely next Tuesday with the football show again. You know, this pod. Thank you so much. I'll see you all soon. Thank you.